Blessings, beautiful souls. You did not miss it. I am late getting this out to you today. I know usually 7 o'clock on the dot you can expect 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. You can expect things to pop out from me, you know, your tarot, your oracle, your journal prompts, all the things, right? A little bit of guidance, wisdoms, teachings, whatever that is. You can usually set your clock at it. And I do schedule them for 7 o'clock. However, today I am behind, and that is because we have been so busy with the amazing new moon rituals and all the content and all the beautiful learnings and teachings around that. It has been a huge week, and it's like, you know, when you take a break or you leave your particular routine for a moment, it's like that constantly, hang on a second, I need to catch up now. And so usually all my things that are done on a Monday have been shifted to Wednesday, and that is just absolutely beautiful and exactly how it needs to be. So having a look today, we have your oracle reading, beautiful 3-card spread for you today. Now I really want you to take a moment here to feel into the cards, feel into what you are being drawn to. This is a brand new deck for me as well. Very excited to use this deck with you all because it is something I've just picked up on the weekend. It's the new Inner Temple Oracle. So I got this at my beautiful friend Sim's place when she did an amazing healing for me over the weekend, and I've been using it every morning since, and I keep getting the same card. And interestingly, that card has come up for you guys as well today. So I'm excited to share that because I feel it's something that is on my heart, and it has been on the heart of everyone inside the inner circle as well. So there's a very strong possibility, if you are here in this group, in this collective, that it is on your heart too. So let's dive in to our oracle reading. We have our 5-day challenge coming up, so that will be released hopefully by the end of this week, if not early next week. In the end, it was that call of, you know, we need for Aries to come in and land. We needed the portal to close and the disruption to disperse before I really was able to anchor it in. And that was very interesting, and there's something I've been doing for quite some time, looking at the forecast of the astrology now and sitting with that and planning out the content, the creation, the inner circle work, everything that we're doing in our membership, everything that we're doing in our Facebook group, and really anchoring in your readings and when things land and need to land, and the offerings. You probably have noticed the house clearing guide is out. If you are on social media, hopefully you are seeing my post around that. It's a free guide. I highly encourage you to grab it. It is perfect for clearing and cleansing your place if you haven't already done sacred shield. Okay, card 1, 2, 3, let's jump on in. So card number 1, let's have a look and see what is here for you today. So this is Chamber of Innocence. Isn't that a beautiful card? So the Chamber of Innocence is here to remind you that you are an innocent human. You are here meant to make mistakes. And sometimes we can carry this shame from lifetimes ago, right? Sometimes we can carry shame from an incident that happened when you were 10. Sometimes you can carry guilt or a feeling of, I just didn't do well enough, or I could have done more. And you harbor this shame, guilt, pressure, energy around imperfection. You're not here to be perfect, beautiful souls. That's not your job. Or we wouldn't have come here for that. We're here to make mistakes. And sometimes we make really big mistakes. Sometimes they're not even that big, but we felt they were at the time. And then that energy gets trapped into our soul, into our physical body. And it's about releasing that and forgiveness. And actually being able to forgive yourself and say, you know what, I was human. You know what, I was 10. You know what? I was angry, I was triggered. The energies in the atmosphere were absolutely chaotic, and I said some really bad things. I felt unsafe, and so I was triggered. You are human. It's what we do with that learning experience then that makes the difference. It's about acknowledging that you are innocent. You are innocent. You didn't know better. You are human. And sometimes we carry guilt, fear, shame from our past ancestry as well. It's encoded in our DNA. And so sometimes we don't even know what that is and where it's coming from, right? And so it's here to remember your innocence. And if you have done something that isn't so great, if there was something that you've done recently that you go, wow, that was out of line, you get to fix that rather than carry it for another 20 years, rather than build on top of that. And if you can't speak to that person because what you said was so horrible, send them some flowers with a little note. Do something anonymously if you need to. Work on your energy to forgive yourself. Do something that will create that peace. Even if it's a letter to them, even if you don't send it, even if you burn it. Allow yourself to forgive yourself. This card is about forgiveness for being human. We all have moments. I have moments. We all have moments. It's about how we restore those moments when we're back in center. Don't try to do it while you're still angry. If you need to take 3 days, take 3 days. 3 days seems to be the integration period, right? With energy. Work on your energy, work on your release. Acknowledge that you're human and that you're trying to be better. You're learning. Okay, card number 2. Now, this is the card that I keep picking, and it's just so fascinating. Card number 2 is the Ceremony of Life. Now, if you got this card, welcome to it. It's a big one. Remember how I said, if you read my newsletters, remember how I said that, Goddess kind of came and gave me a bit of a talking to, and that I'd gone through this moment of, wow, how am I? Yes, my work is my life, and I integrate my beautiful work that I do for my clients and you beautiful souls into my world. But at what cost do you exhaust yourself with that, right? And even if I was an accountant, even if I was a lawyer, even if I was an architect, how can you still weave ceremony into that life? You don't need to be a tarot reader. You don't need to be a ritual maker. You don't need to be an energy healer to have ceremony in your life. Because let me tell you, when I'm doing things for you, I'm not doing it for me. Yes, of course, I'm in ceremony and it's amazing and I'm still connecting to Goddess and I'm getting all the feels and it's beautiful, but my energy is directed for you. And so this card kept coming up for me even after I got my big recent awakening from Goddess. And it's that constant reminder, right? It's Spirit saying to us, how are you weaving ceremony into your life? Because your life is a ceremony. Your birth is a ceremony, your death is a ceremony, and every part in between is ceremony. How are you living your best life? How are you actually creating and interweaving your spiritual practices throughout the day? Now, we talk about this in my recent priestess circle, right? And so we talked about that we don't want to make it a job. Our devotion practice shouldn't be a job. And this card is about that. It's about noticing. It's about being in ceremony. It's about when you go for your morning walk. Yes, you might listen to a podcast. Yes, you might listen to a guided meditation and you're doing that while you're walking. A lot of people do because they can't sit still during a meditation. That's fine. If you've got all my chants, if you've got access to the resource library, my resource library, I would highly encourage you to do some of those beautiful abundance chants and whatnot while you're walking. And so the ceremony of life is about actually, while you're doing life, recognizing that you're still connected, bringing back your breath in the moment, being present, and realizing that we are always connected. Taking those small moments to celebrate and realize you're alive and you're on a spiritual quest. And so I don't need a 3-hour routine in the morning. I need to go for my walk. And let me tell you, this morning on my walk, I turned off all my podcasts. I turned off all my audiobooks, which I'm loving at the moment. I must tell you, audiobooks are a thing, right? I turned everything off. I stopped replying to all my mentorship messages because I love to do that in the mornings. And I touched the plants that I walked past. It's the most amazing bottle brush. And you know, I saw every single stage of them this morning. The very first creation, to then the next bloom, to the moment where they are ready and formed. And that was life. I saw a life cycle of the plant this morning on my walk. And that connected me to Mother Gaia. I was just observant in my exercise routine. And yes, my walk is always also about my spiritual advancement because I use that time to really soak in the light codes. But if you're going outside to get in your car, take an extra moment before you open the door and look up at the sun and welcome in the codes. That your spiritual practice should be at the core of everything you do. And we explore that and go really deep in that. And with the help of my beautiful assistants, we have created the most amazing guide in the inner circle that I am using on my Sundays, my sacred Sundays. I'm using that guide. It is amazing. And I made it from the call of our beautiful, beautiful souls inside the inner circle. Card number 3. Now this is a big one. If you picked card number 3, my beautiful souls, this is the Chamber of Soul Gifts. And the Chamber of Soul Gifts, aren't they just beautiful divine cards? They actually don't all have that exact frequency and that exact coloring, but it's interesting that these 3 have really aligned today. They're just like a snapshot of beauty. So the Chamber of Soul Gifts is where Goddess is saying to you, beautiful soul, you came here with some gifts, remember that? And your job was to find them. And maybe you don't know what they are yet. Or maybe you do and you're ignoring them because you don't think you're good enough at them. Well, let me tell you, we're here to explore our soul gifts. We're here to have this human experience and up level into this remarkable soul gifts. And if you're not sure what your soul gifts are, have a think about if you didn't have to work, if you didn't have to do anything, what would you love to do? Would you love to paint? Would you love to write? Create a book, create poetry? Would you love to be surrounded by tarot cards and crystals? Would you love to talk to people and help them? Would you love to just be cooking all day? Just in the kitchen creating? We all have different soul gifts. That's the purpose. And when we actually live those gifts, when we are actually in alignment with them, everything opens up. It's amazing. You see these amazing, remarkable authors that write the most profound books. Now look, some of them get rejected. And then, bam, they've hit it. They're selling out. Because we're not meant to nail it the first time. You're not meant to pick up a tarot deck and all of a sudden all the voices come through and you know everything. I am still learning after more than 20 years of playing with my tarot. Like, we are always learning. That's the journey. But when we're in alignment with what we're meant to be doing, when we're in alignment with spirit, when we're doing our gifts, when we're engaging with them, when we're creating with them, that's when peace drops. Real peace. I don't wake up in the morning to an alarm clock and have to convince myself to get in the car to go to work, or convince myself that, okay, this conversation's it used to loop. It was out of alignment. It wasn't always. And then it was. And new gifts came online. And this is how it works. You're always forever expanding and finding more. It's like the soul opens up a little bit more. You get deeper into your spiritual practice. You get deeper into alignment with your meditation or your connection with source energy. And it opens up even more. And then you get this opening. And another fragment of that soul drops in. And you go, oh, hang on a second. I really like that. And as you age, you notice more and more that things shift and change. What you may have loved as a 20-year-old may not be the same thing that calls to your soul as a 50-year-old. It's not meant to be. It's interesting though. What's really interesting is what calls to your soul when you start to get your independence back as an adult, when it just becomes you again, is very similar to when you were a child. The things you really loved doing as a child, like dancing or coloring or writing or singing, it comes back. And you go, oh, that used to bring me joy. And it's interesting how closely linked they can be to your soul gifts. So if you got this gift of this card today, look at your soul gifts. You're being called to look at them, embrace them, make time for them. And if you haven't found what they are, to start sitting with that and setting the intention to your guides. Remember, you can ask and ask them to bring that in. I wish you a marvelous day. Thank you for being with me with this amazing oracle reading today. I invite you into our 5-day challenge as soon as it is up, where we will pull cards together for 5 days, and that will be remarkable. Help shift your intuitive abilities and really kind of deepen into your practice. I invite you always into the inner circle, where we are there supporting each other, nurturing each other, sending you the most amazing love. Let me know which card you got. I would like to know, please. You guys like to send it to me individually, but not write it down. I would love you to write down what card you got today. I'm interested. Who got this one? I'm really interested. This seems to be a calling right now for us to really step into this. I think we're up leveling. I think we're sitting at this stage of that next ascension. And I feel people that are aligned with spirit and doing the work and actually making sure we're connected and being with like-minded people and sitting in this vibration will shift into that frequency very easily, and everything will just get easier. So much love. I love you all. Have a most amazing day.